All right, hello everyone. Hopefully you are all doing. Can you look at me? Yeah, you. Come here. I'm tired of turning my head to follow you. Thank you. No, stay. Okay, good. Well, today I wanted to talk to you about my process for creating my brand new eyes, which these aren't. These are still the old ones. But that's besides the point. Starting off, I had a couple goals going into it. First off, I wanted my left eye to be able to look around with the rings following the others. Second, I wanted to be able to adjust the eye shape of this eye at the least. Perhaps the other one if I could get to it and figure it out. And third, I wanted to see if I could use the grease pencil to give my eyes a wobbly outline for that hand-drawn effect. And with my goals set, I jumped straight into it. Day one went really well, honestly. I basically got the entire left eye created, stylized, and rigged properly. It took a minute with the orientation of the eye since it wasn't quite flat on any one axis, so I had to do some driver math to get it to not clip into itself properly. Rigging was also interesting since I couldn't just rotate it to look at the control bone. I had to connect it through drivers so that the position of the control bone moved the eye rings instead. Interesting and fun challenges, honestly, but nothing too much of note, as I was really just focused on making the eye. And then came day two. And day two was worse. A lot worse. But also better. And it's also where I fell in love with a complicated ex-drunk old man. Okay, hold up. That's a lot to take in at once. I'll slow down, break this up. First off, goals of the day. I had just wanted to accomplish goal 2 and finish how the left eye worked. This was an incredible hassle as I had to figure out multiple different bone solutions, and the current form's weight painting isn't amazing, so I can't do a whole lot with it, but I can still change the shape. And look, while I was writing this, I realized that I could have so much more luck with shape keys, so I might have to do that as an off camera task this next week. Ah, I don't know. I'll think about it. The weight painting and bone rigging and whatnot was just a huge hassle in general that I would like to avoid in the future if I could. I'll have to figure out how to weight paint better and use bendy bones better too. But still, I'm happy with the result. And probably what half of you clicked on this video for, my complicated ex-drunk old man that I fell in love with. This is slightly misleading. See, I had already loved this man before, but now he cemented himself truly in my heart. And this man is Ben Kingsley, or as I know him, Trevor Slattery. See, I decided to watch Marvel's Wonder Man while I worked on, the eyes. And so there are multiple spans of time where I'm just locked in on that rather than the eye. And the show follows Simon and Trevor Slattery, who is the once terrorist actor from Iron Man 3 that then got kidnapped by the True Ten Rings and was able to get back to the United States and work for the United States Department of Damage Control in an effort to incriminate Simon. And honestly, Trevor stole the show for me in Iron 3, even more so in Shang-Chi. Which, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Shang-Chi, and I would have seen it without Trevor. However, he is probably half the reason I loved that movie like I did. That's beside the point. He took front and center, right behind Simon in this show as his pseudo best friend. And their friendship is so incredible to watch, as well as what Trevor decided to do in the final episode of the show. I was genuinely so incredibly invested and moved that I turned off Blender and switched solely to watching the show. No, 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 no. No. What? Trevor Slattery. Trevor Slattery, what have you done? You're my goat. He is such a fun and lovable character with so much depth that got expanded on incredibly well in this show. Which, although it wouldn't quite have worked without Trevor, without some major plot switches, the show is still amazing. Simon is a lovable and relatable character that I cannot wait to hopefully see again. but I ended up binging all of Wonder Man that night. Very much partially because of Trevor Slattery. Okay, well, I did finish what I wanted to do that night, which means I can show off the new eyes I spent so long working on. So, what do we think? Good, bad, ugly? Personally, I'm really proud of them, and I have some more exciting things I want to experiment with. They were a lot of fun to make, and it excites me so much for some future projects I may or may not start working on. Hey folks, thanks for sticking around to the end. This video was a fun one. I'm getting more used to recording my process and to ensure, that I have footage to use later. I also really love these eyes and was bragging about them on Tumblr a couple days before I released this video. Anyways, I have a couple ideas I'm flirting with for this week. I have high hopes, honestly, but it depends on how much time I end up having. Have a good week, folks. I'll see you next Wednesday.